Okay, whoever has put it right, if you put it like this, microphone is in the other side. What is this for? This is for recording. If you put it like this, what is that? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. So, welcome to all of you for the most difficult verses to be understood in Bhagavad Gita. This is the 13th chapter, the nature, the enjoyer, and consciousness. As I said, I spent nearly 5 to 6 weeks explaining the first three verses of 13th chapter. And whoever came and attended, they would be able to understand, but yet I will explain in the most simplest way the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh verses of 13th chapter, so that you can all understand the field of activities. Yeah. So, text number 4, translation, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, "Oh Arjuna, now please hear my description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it's produced, who that knower of the field of activity is, and what his influences are. And that knowledge of the field of activities and of the knower of the field of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all the reasoning as to cause and effect." Sixth and seventh verse of 13th chapter, the five great elements, false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, and the mind, the five sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms, and convictions are all these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. So we discussed about from first three verses what is field, what are field of activities, who is the knower of the field. Yeah. So what and all the other Kshetra, Kshetragna, what else? Anyone would like to tell? Don't scratch your head. So what are the 6 topics? Let me just, nature, Prakriti, Purusha. So Arjuna asked 2 questions. What is nature? And who is the Prakriti and who is the Purusha? Yeah. And what else? 2. Yeah. Kshetragna, what is knowledge? What is the purpose of understanding knowledge? Don't tell purpose. Purpose of understanding knowledge. That is where Krishna is telling in the 5th verse, the knowledge. What is knowledge, Krishna told? Knowledge is to understand what is field, what is its field of activities, and knowledge is to understand who is the knower of the field. And we discussed about knower of the field is none other than the soul, the Atma sitting in. He can only know to a limited extent about its own body, his own body. And I gave an example of a vehicle we are driving. What and all we can know about a vehicle, a car? Maximum to maximum extent we can know within a car is a clutch, accelerator, gear, engine, and oil, and petrol or diesel you need to put, and the tires, and the wheel, whatever, what is called steering wheel. What else? The glasses, windows, all those things. But how they are connected to each other, we absolutely will not know. How there is a suspension system is there. We can see the springs, but how suspension systems are there? How engine is connected to where? What is pushing the car to go forward? It is not that being a driver of the car, I will know each and everything what is happening in the car. You understand? We will only know as an end user how to utilize it. How many of you understood? As a driver of the car doesn't mean that I know each and every part of the car. Are you all with me? Huh? Okay, yeah. So similarly, driver of this body, Atma, doesn't mean that he knows each and every part of the body. Yeah, I ate 3 vadas today and it's now start commentating. It is now started going to the intestine, going through the and then it's going to the higher, stomach, and then the entire journey of I will not be knowing. I only know how to eat the gulab jamun. What gulab jamun happens inside the body? How many of us know? Absolutely not. Similarly, Krishna is telling knower of the body. Knower of the body means to a limited extent. But Krishna, what is difference between Krishna and us? We know to some extent our own body. To some extent. Krishna knows completely the in and out mechanism how the body is working. Not only he knows what is happening in our mind, Krishna knows what is happening in the minds of each and every living entities. Yeah, each and every living entities. That's where I shared with you. I don't want to go into that topic, but Lord Shiva is actually praying to Krishna, and this is the verse. Tvam apramattah sahasavipadyase. We are all so been, head high, thinking that we are great people. We have earned so much of money. I have a big bungalow. I have this reserve with me. I have these many people with me. I have these many followers. Yeah, but we might have all this accumulation, and we might be so proud that I'm carrying all this. Lord Shiva is telling, Pravritta lobam vishayeshu ladasam. I need to accumulate more and more and more. In this ignorance, in this business of my own life of accumulation, I would have forgotten my own life. Earning, entire life. Then what Lord Shiva says, Tvam apramattah. Though we might be busy in accumulating, Lord Krishna knows when to take it away completely. We are pramattah, Lord Shiva says. We are all intoxicated. Intoxicated in accumulating assets. But Lord Krishna is Tvam pramattah. You are very, very alert. What does it mean by alert? Sahasavi Padyase. You have millions of hands with you. When you give, you can give through millions of hands. But when you take, those millions of hands can take it out immediately without prior notice. No notice is required. Landlord gives 1 month of notice to vacate the house. But when Krishna gives notice, it's an immediate effect. How are you alert? He gives an example of a snake and a mouse. Mouse is so busy in doing its activities of constructing home, carrying all the materials, and drilling in the. रोजी क्या बोली क्या करो इसको वो वीडियो भी चालू है प्रोजी कुछ तो करो प्रोजी इसको बार बार हर वीक इसको please create some small utility tool for this Prabhu. Small utility. Yeah? To ensure that this is all taken care. So, how are you alert? Lord Shiva gives an example of a snake and a mouse. Mouse is so busy making its own house, bringing all the ingredients, drilling. within within the earth. But it takes a minute for a snake to come in, size the mouse, eat it, it got the food, and also it got a house. So easy for the snake to capture everything. So who is snake here? Lord Krishna. Don't get fearful. I don't know why I came. Prasad is there after 9 o'clock. Doesn't mean that he is cruel. Please don't understand. This is not to create a fear in the minds of people. It is to alert ourselves that where are we heading unconsciously, doing things thinking that no one is watching us. But at the end of the day, all our activities are on record. Yeah. Now, why did I come here, bro? Yeah. Why did I come to this verse? Huh? Yeah. Huh? Okay. Yeah, knower of the field, very important. Lord understands each and every vehicle, what it is doing. That is why Lord is called Pramattaha, very, very alert. We are Pramattaha. Lord is Tvam Apramattaha. Lord is extremely alert. He is conscious of each and every one of us, what we are doing. So, knowing the knower of the field, I have a very, very limited knowledge of my own body, but Krishna has a complete knowledge of our own body, and as well as he is the knower of all other body as well. What is the difference between me and Krishna? Kshetragnam chapi mam vidri sarva kshetreshu bharata. You might be the knower of your field, your body, but I am the knower of all the fields. Virupaksha Prabhu, very difficult. So, very important to understand. Yeah. Now, Krishna is explaining what is the field. Very important to understand. Tat Kshetram. Now, please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are when it is produced, who that knower of the field of activity is, what his influences are. Now, Krishna is telling Arjuna, please, you need to understand the field. Yeah, field means this body. How this body has been created. Body doesn't mean just my body. You need to understand body means as per Lord is me, definitely. At the end of the day, this world as it is. Nature, everything that is giving us a sustenance, living life in this world is all called Kshetra. Yeah, you're all understanding? Yeah. So to know that Kshetra, how it is all formed, very, very important to understand. Sometimes, there in the Vedic scriptures, if you go to Mukundamala Stotra, there's a verse. Nathe dhatari bhogi bhoga shayane narayane madhave Deve devaki nandane tribhuvane chakrayude shangrini Leela shesha jagat prapancha jatare Vishweshware Sridhare Govinde kuruchitta vritti machalam Anyastu kim vartanai. This is from Sri Sampradaya Kulashekara Alva is speaking Mukunda Mala Stotra. He is telling Nathe Dhatari Bogi Boga Shayane, Lao Lord, who is sleeping on the bed of snake and having a gala life. But In that sleep state, what is he doing? Leela Shesha. Innumerable number of pastimes he is performing. Somewhere the creation taking place, somewhere the destruction is happening. Somewhere the marriage is breaking, somewhere the marriage is happening. Somewhere the child is getting birth, somewhere the person is living this world. Someone is getting job, someone is searching for a job. All this kind of Leela is happening throughout the world. Leela Shesha. Innumerable number of Leela you do in this world. How are you doing? He is sleeping as Narayana on the bed of snake. Jagat Prapancha Jatare. Entire world is in your stomach. Someone asked me, how stupid is this, Prabhu? How is it possible? This gigantic world, how can someone keep it inside his stomach? Is it so easy? These are all, sentimental things, your Vedic scriptures. It's very sentimental. Doesn't have bearing at all. Common sense. Arun Prabhu is carrying Shri Priya. Doesn't mean that you are Prabhu. Carry her Prabhu, let's say. How is it possible? Okay, I understand. But how Lord can have everything in his stomach? Yeah? How can he have everything? Everyone has this doubt, right? You are carrying everything. When the pralaya happens, the entire world goes back into the stomach of Narayana. How is it? Joking? All stupidity only. You are all into higher imaginations. Too much into imaginations. But Vedic science, we need to really understand properly. Unless and until we don't understand, with our little knowledge we have, to perceive greater things in life, it is impossible. Impossible. Very, very important for us to understand. Leela Shesha Jagat Prapancha Jatare Vishweshware. You are called Vishweshwara, who is the creator of this entire creation. Sridhare Govinde, O Govinda. Who is Govinda? Someone who controls senses. And Kurushekara Alvar is praying, Govinde, he's putting the name of Krishna as Govinda, O control of the senses. Kuru Chitta Vritti Machalam. He is addressing to Krishna, O Krishna, with all this, addressing him. Next he is telling, O Govinda, Kuru Govinde, Kuru Chitta Vritti Machalam. Make my consciousness, the mind, purified. Why to purify? Because we are stupid, we don't understand this and all. We think that, how is it possible? Stupidity. We have to come along and sit here to understand, oh, this entire world is in the womb of Krishna. Come on. You are all, brainless people. That's why Kulashekara Alvar says, Govinde Kuruchitta Urti Machanam. Make my intelligence sharper, mind steady, consciousness pure, so that I can understand you. Anyastu kim vartanai. I don't have any other vartanai. Vartanai means what? When you go to the shop, what you do? You transact. Kulashekara Alva says, I don't have any transaction, other transactions to do. Only one transaction I have is to purify myself. And you please do it. If you get Trump in front of you at this moment of time, what do you do? Immediately you ask for gold card. Right? How can I do might? Please give me a gold card. But someone who is in front of Krishna, He is telling, I do not want anything from you, but please make my intelligence steady, mind stable, consciousness purified. This is all required. This is the nature of a devotee. It is not easy. We get tempted. You understand? Krishna consciousness, sometimes we all come and play, make jokes and make fun. But really, when you understand what devotion means, then our journey starts. Otherwise, we will be just playing around without doing anything. Govinde kuru chitta vritti machalam anyastu kim vartanai kulashekara alva is telling Krishna, I do not want anything from you. Just make my mind, intelligence, and consciousness qualified to know you. This is called pure devotion. Now, Krishna is telling here how to understand this body. And I told you, how is it possible for Lord to create such a creation which is so gigantic and take it back whenever he wants? For example, Akash Prabhu has 100 crores with him in the bank. But he doesn't carry all his 100 crores with him. Otherwise, Pradeep Prabhu will tell, Prabhu, what are you doing? Invest. But he keeps it. He keeps it in a very, very subtle form. What is the subtle form of his 100 crores? Puts it in the bank and carries a card. Not credit card. He doesn't need a credit card. I need a credit card. Debit card. He keeps a card with him. That's all. He knows the pin. When to take it out. That's all. He doesn't carry all these 100 crores. It really weighs tons. But he is very intelligent. He doesn't carry. Similarly, Lord Krishna doesn't carry billions and billions and billions of tons of entire gigantic universe on his head. Doesn't carry at all. Once when Srila Prabhupada was explaining Krishna consciousness to the Americans, and when they heard the Leela of Krishna, so many Americans became students. And one of the student was a painter. When Prabhupada explained how Lord Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, the painter wanted to paint the entire Leela. And she painted. And she painted and showed the painting to Prabhupada. When Prabhupada saw it, he saw Krishna having a big, what do you call? Muscular body. And Prabhupada said, what is this stupid? And the student became, Prabhupada, did I make any mistake? Yes. Do you think Krishna need to be a muscular to lift the Govardhan hill? Please understand, he's lifting the Govardhan hill with this little finger. Yeah? And he doesn't need a body which is having biceps and triceps and all kinds of, yeah? Absolutely not. Krishna can be a small child, still he can lift the Govardhan hill. He is Krishna. So then she understood that through my perception, I will not be able to ascertain, understand the pastime of Lord. As soon as you start hearing Krishna lifted Govardhan, immediately you start what is the weight of Krishna? How many times he would have gone to gym? Huh? All these things, absolutely not necessary. These leelas doesn't come. So that is where Govinde Kuru Chitta Vritti Machalam. To know Krishna, we need to have our consciousness purified. Then only we can understand Krishna. So when Lord creates, just like Akash Prabhu carrying his ATM card, Lord also carries a ATM card with him. Yeah? That ATM card is called Mahatattva. I'm actually making it fun, but it is not fun actually. If you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, you would be seeing this word coming again and again and again in Sankhya Yoga, the instruction of Kapila Dev to Devahuti. Yeah? Lord carries, this is a most subtlest of the subtle energy which Lord just pulls it whenever he needs to end this entire world. He doesn't need to take, oh, I left around 20 tons of stone somewhere else. I need to grab it and put it in my stomach. He doesn't need to do all those things. What Lord pulls out is only an essence. That is called in the Vedic scripture is called Mahatattva. Very important to understand this. Don't sleep or close your eyes. I'm saying आंखों ऊपर नीचे जा रहा है, डिफिकल्ट है, थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट सब्जेक्ट है, ऐसा होता है. So Lord, what Lord carries within him is this only. For example, you might see a Boeing. What's the biggest Boeing now? 320 or 737? Yeah. When the 737 looks so gigantic, and all the passengers go inside, and tons of luggages go inside, and everyone are waiting, and a driver, what he called a pilot, just enters into the flight. He's only 4 feet long. Only 4 feet. Only 4 feet, like you. He enters into the flight and takes it off. You understand? How is it possible for a small pilot to lift the entire plane and take off? You understand? There are all mechanisms there. We need to understand what drives the world is most subtlest. Someone who pulls the crowd, he doesn't pull the crowd with his his gross outlook. He doesn't. For example, biggest of the biggest politicians in the US who created a movement, they were all so expert in managing people with just intelligence through their speech. So what actually controls the world is not the gross outlook, please understand, but most subtlest, which is how you can actually, through your talk, through your intelligence, you can bring the crowd together. You are all with me? What is most strongest, gross or subtle? Now tell me. Subtle is the most strongest, not the gross. Yeah? So I will tell you now how. So this Mahatattva, as it is told in text number 6 and 7. In 6 and 7, the 5 great elements. What are the 5 great elements? Very important to understand. If you are a human being, if you do not understand this, today's verses, I think it requires a lot of training to become a human being. The 5, sorry, yeah, I'm also trying to understand. It's not that I'm ridiculing any one of you. I also require time to, because I was completely in the concrete was happening up and then came down, did the cooking, and then went down to take a shower. Yeah, it requires a lot of time to understand these topics. It's not, but we need to keep on understanding it. The 5 great elements, false ego, intelligence, and the unmanifested, the 10 senses, the mind, 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate life systems, and convictions, all these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. And Krishna is telling, I'm going to explain you how it is all constituted. Yeah. So this Mahatattva has 24 elements in it. How many elements? 24 elements. Yeah. For example, a mango tree to grow, what it requires? A seed. You need to have a soil, good soil. You need to have air. You need to have water. You need to have fire. Then, yeah, fire is sunlight. Huh? Yeah, you need to have ether, space. Then, whatever, manure is nothing but soil. Yeah. All this, when it is put together, becomes a mango tree. What is gross here? What is gross? What is gross? In this example, what is gross? Huh? What is gross? What is gross in this example? In this example, huh? In this example, this is gross. This is subtle. Please understand. In this example, I'm saying, don't get confused. What is gross and what is subtle? Gross is an appearance which you can experience. Yeah? Subtle is difficult to experience it. You can experience how the mango is, but if you have been asked to eat that seed and experience it, how many of you will experience the seed of a mango? How many? कोई खाता है क्या? कोई नहीं खाता है. जो खाता है वो मैंगो खाता है. Mango के inside he throws it. So in this example, don't quote and don't take it. प्रभु जी उन्होंने कहा seed subtle है. No, seed is gross. But understand, in this example, I'm taking you in a journey so that you can understand, so that you don't sleep. Yeah, don't sleep. Yeah, very important. So, very important to understand, Lord carries only one thing during creation. The 5 great elements, 6th, 7th verse. Yeah, Lord Krishna told. Yeah, this is gross elements. Oh, Roji, can you carry this? Okay, let me. It's okay. It's okay. I'll carry this. Okay. Okay, so the gross, Lord carries, Lord, what He actually first brings to this creation is the sky. Not Surya Kumar Yadav. Not that sky. Don't get confused. I know you're all cricket favorites, but not this Surya Kumar Yadav. This is sky. Sky means ether. Bhumirapo nalovayu kam mano buddhirevacha. These are all external energies of mind, Lord Krishna tells in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Bhumirapo nalovayu. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are 5. Plus mind, intelligence, and false ego. These are all my 8 external energies, Lord Krishna says. Now, the most subtler of this is ether. Yeah? So, Lord Krishna, first what comes to the creation, the first is the ether, sky. Then comes what? Air. When the sky transforms, it generates air. Yeah? Then, when air transforms, from air comes the fire. When the fire transforms, water gets generated. When water transforms, earth gets generated. Which is subtler here? Most subtler? Ether. though subtle to gross. Yeah? What Krishna brings in here is this, and all the interactions where Lord Krishna is telling in 6th and 7th of verse, Lord, all the interactions that happens, anyone sleeping keeps your eye open, wide open. Please, I don't want to look into those who are sleeping, but I'm telling you, don't sleep. Sometimes it is good to just give class without seeing anyone. Just speak and just leave. Because when I start seeing, immediately I start remembering all the troubles I took to organize the program. Thandi hawa kali gata. Nice weather, everything is so nice here. Good to sleep. प्रसाद तो मिलता है 8:30 तो प्रसाद मिलता है अगर सुनोगे या ना सुनोगे तो प्रसाद मिलता है कुछ कंसेशन नहीं है सबको प्रसाद मिलता है तो आराम से सो जाओ या ऐसे मत करो प्लीज what is subtle to gross is this is the most grossest from this elements which are the 5 great elements Lord Krishna is telling from this comes the sense objects. Yeah? Oh, I don't know why I wrote here. Comes the sense objects. Yeah? From ether comes the sound. Shabda. Yeah? From air comes what? No. From air comes the touch. Yeah? From the fire. Now, air has, okay? Air has both attributes of sound and touch. Yeah? From the fire comes the form. Sound, touch, and form. Because fire has. Which is subtler here? This or this? Which is subtler? Sound is subtler or air is subtler? प्रसाद का टाइम हो गया. Subtler form of air is sound. Please understand. This is a science. Bhagavad Gita is a science. It requires little bit burning of your intelligence. Fire is gross. What is gross? I told you. Where you can visualize the appearance, your understanding. The form, touch, and sound is the subtle attributes of fire. From water comes the taste. Sound, touch, form, and taste. From earth comes the smell, gandha. Yeah? Sound, it has all these qualities. Sound, touch, form, taste, and smell as well. Yeah? From sense objects comes the senses, knowledge acquiring senses. From sound comes the ear. More subtler is, more strongest is. If a person is dying, Someone goes and speaks to who? Ear. Are you understanding? Ear is the one which loses its stamina at the last. You are all with me? Yeah? From sound and touch comes the skin. From sound, touch, and form comes the eyes, tongue, and the nose. Yeah? You're all with me? See how interaction of all this are producing the body within us. Subtle, it started with the most subtle energy. And the transformation that happens to bring the creation within is only an engineer can do it. No one else. For example, we are constructing a building. Yeah? Building requires sand, water, cement. Then what else? Bricks, that's also sand, everything. Soil, everything. Yeah? Together, space. Without space, nothing is going to happen. Yeah? What it brings is the bungalow, which is subtler and which is grosser here. Which is gross? Bungalow, at least. Oh, okay, you are all with me. Gross is bungalow. Subtler ingredients. Now, the construction people come and utilize these subtle ingredients, transform them to create a bungalow. You are all with me? Huh? When they have a capacity to do it, do you think Lord doesn't have a capacity to keep all the subtle elements within him and expand it as soon as it's required? He doesn't need to carry. He doesn't need to carry mega tons of steel or anything within him to create. Just like we creators are using certain subtle elements and creating gigantic appearance of like a building or a tower or something, similarly the Lord carries most subtler element. Most. For example, if you are a cook, I'm telling you, without this one ingredient, you cannot do anything. How many know this ingredient? Asafoetida is the most subtlest. Most subtlest of the subtlest. Even if a grain of hing drops, I shout at someone, pick it up, because it is like a gold. For example, a person who is working, what is called, who works a gold, he makes jewelry, goldsmith. Goldsmith knows what is the value of one dust of grain, small dust grain of gold drop. He knows the value of it. A cook knows the value of dust of asafoetida which is fallen on the ground. You understand? So what is most subtlest of the subtlest for the cooking is this. When the cook comes, cook doesn't bring all rice, dal and all those things. He carries within his pocket one small box of hing from his favorite shop. Actually, I went to one, I don't know whether how many of you know this. In Kuvempu Nagar, there is one Kodubale shop, which is cooked by a Brahmin boy. He's been doing it for ages. And I told him, what is your secret of making Kodubale? How many people come? You don't reduce the size also, and size is also gigantic. And you say that whoever wants to eat this or take this, take it. For marriages, make it little bit round and small. He says, no, my shape is this. 10 rupees, one koduvada. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. And I was telling, what is the secret? Sir, I don't want to tell you. But one, I Get hing from a very, 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 very one store in Mysore who gives a pure hing. See, all of you awake. That is the secret for making this code bade. You understand? And for example, if you go to coals and all, or more, they don't keep all the gross elements, they would have kept it in the, in the, what do you call that? Shelves, yeah? But Kesari, saffron, they would have kept it in the cashier box. Whoever wants it, they give it out because subtler is more costlier. You are understanding? So, what Krishna carries with him is not the dust. All this iron, all those things he doesn't need. What is most important thing, he just picks it up and goes. He knows that to cooking needs to happen. I need to have this asafoetida with you. Similarly, Lord Krishna also keeps the most subtlest, nothing but Mahatattva. I don't know why I spoke about Hing and Mahatattva and all. If someone, Radheshyam Prabhu, hears it, he says, this guy has become mad. But he doesn't know that I am speaking in Mysore. Pune, hundreds of people might sit and hear. In Mysore, if you go too technical, scuba diving, everyone will start sleeping. So similarly, this elements, yeah, gives rise to sense objects, and this gives rise to knowledge acquiring senses. Now, as soon as the eyes interaction of ear and eyes and the smell and the nose, when they start in partnership, immediately it generates working senses. For example, if you see a jalebi, if you smell it, if you see the form, beautiful form of jalebi, immediately leg will start running towards. You are all with me? So that's where Krishna is telling how the interaction of the senses gives rise to working senses. You are all with me? It comes with legs, hands, voice, genitals, and the rectum. Yeah? These are all 5 working senses. From interaction of knowledge, acquiring senses brings, knowledge acquiring senses to working senses. Yeah? Now, how many form? How many now in these ingredients? 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, 5 here. Elements, earth, water, fire, air, and ether is 5. Sense objects, sound, touch, form, taste, and smell is 5. Sense objects, then knowledge acquiring senses, ear, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose is another 5, 15. Working senses, legs, hands, voice, genital, and rectum, another 5, 20. Now, 20 elements are there. With this 20 elements, Bhumiraponalo Vayu, Kam Mano Buddhirevacha. Mind, intelligence, and false ego forms another 3. It becomes 23. Plus consciousness becomes 24 elements that 6th and 7th verse of Bhagavad Gita is talking about. Yeah? That's why Prahlad Maharaj is, see, why this is required. The body is a tool for the living entity to enjoy the facility of this world. Because of his own desires, karya karana kartrutve hetur prakriti uchyate. Purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktatve hetur uchyate. Arjuna asks, why did we come to this material world? All in all, Krishna said in a simple way. Purushaha sukha dukkhanam. The happiness and distress of each and every living entity in this world is due to the fact that everyone wanted this tool to enjoy. What is the tool? This body. Bhoktatve heturuchyate. The one and only reason that the living entities have come to this world is because of the desire to enjoy the facilities of this world. To enjoy the facilities of this world, this entire creation takes place. Yeah? You're all with me? Now, why do I need this all together? Prahlad Maharaj is telling Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Krishna. Maya manasrujati karma mayam baliyaha kalena chodita guna anumataya pumsaha. Maya manasrujati karma mayam baliyaha. Oh Krishna, you expand yourself and you create this entire world, and this mind is your energy only. And this mind is so strong that it is subtle. Who is subtle? Mind is subtle or your working senses? You tell me this. Chashme wale. What's your name? Amrut. Tell me what is subtle. Mind is subtle or your hands are subtle? Mind is subtle. How do you say subtle? Okay.
Mind
Controls the hands. So that is why it's subtle. So what I said about subtle? Something you cannot experience its presence. Can you experience where your mind is? No, but you know the mind is acting. You know where the hand is, right? You know the hand. Yeah. So mind controls the hand. So Maya manasrujati karma mayam baliyaha. Oh Krishna, your energy, the mind. Sit down. It's not a school, yaar. Oh my goodness. Maya manasrujati. The mind that you have created, it creates karma mayam baliya. So many desires in this world. So many desires. And these desires keep on evolving. How? Kalena chodita guna anumatena pumsa. Kalena, with time, desires also starts. See, she wants only the purse now. After some time, she will see whether cash is there inside. Whether without cash, anyone carries purse. Do you want a purse without cash? Manogna? Don't act. Does she want purse without cash? Want it? Yeah, sometimes so. Try to protect your daughter. I know, she doesn't. No one wants a purse without a cash. Who wants? You want? No, absolutely not. Kalena chodita guna. As the time passes, desire also increase. Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, you with the time of us, what you do is, with the time you start increasing our desires. And these desires are innumerable. Sometimes we are in the mode of goodness. And desires are so in the mode of goodness. But suddenly the passion comes in us. And desires changes. I don't want to get into what is desires in passion, what is desire in ignorance and all those things. And suddenly our ignorance within us starts triggering us and desire starts creating. Kalena chodita guna. Anumataina pumsa. With your mercy only everything is happening. But what is my condition? My state of my life today, Chandomayam Ajaya Arpita Shodasharam. This 16 elements you have created, Samsara Chakramadako. It is like the wheel of samsara. It is crushing me. You understand? When the wheel goes over, for example, a small living entity, you are driving a car, a wheel goes above it. What happens? It gets crushed. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying your wheel of samsara made up of these spokes. Wheel has spokes, right? And spokes is relating to these 24 elements. But he only takes 16 elements when he's praying. It is crushing me. I don't want to have this kind of life. And he's praying to whom? Prahlad Maharaj? Narsingadev. So when we are understanding this, you might think, where is the bhakti here? Where is devotion? There is Lord Krishna is not talking about any devotion or anything here. But unless and until you understand what you are made up of, you cannot understand how to manage it. Very important to understand. Until unless you don't manage it, you will not be able to perform devotional service. प्रभु जी मंदिर आओ ना प्रभु सैटरडे हुआ प्रभु जी भगवान बुलाएंगे तो आएंगे प्रभु भगवान नहीं बुलाएगा आपका माइंड बुलाना है आपको इंटेलिजेंस को बोलना है कि इंटेलिजेंस बालाजी वाइन्स में मत जाओ बालाजी वाइन्स स्ट्रेट आओ यहाँ पे बालाजी देखने के लिए क्या होता है दिमाग भी इतना कंफ्यूज होता है बालाजी वाइन्स भी अच्छा है बालाजी है ना वो इंटेलिजेंस ही नहीं है दिमाग में क्या डिफरेंशिएशन क्या बालाजी वाइन्स एंड वृंदावन डिफरेंट है वो माइंड में आना है इंटेलिजेंस थोड़ा कंट्रोल करना है माइंड को नहीं जाओ I get one, I don't know, already 8:45. I get one barbender who comes to this one too. He's a nice person. But 5 till 5:30 will be nice. After that, to bring him to work, I would be calling in the morning 5 o'clock. Hello, sir. Sir, Bartin, sir. Completely gone. I tell him, what happens after 7? I don't know, sir, what happens. Immediately, all Maya. Sir, I really went to Durga temple, sir. Really, sir, I went to Durga. I'm so devoted, sir. Whenever I drink, na, sir, if I'm walking, na, I ensure that I don't touch any of the rangolis in any front of the house, sir. I go really, sir, I don't touch any rangolis. I go in the road straight. Even sir, I really devoted. Devotion, according to that, I don't touch the rangoli. I don't step on it. I carefully, even though I am drunk. Straight I will come, sir. Don't worry. So, very, very difficult to understand. Why did I come here, bro? Huh?
Why are we using this mind? What is the utility of
No.
this?
Yeah, mind. Very important. So, very important to understand, to differentiate. God doesn't, yes, that is a higher understanding. God needs to bring me. When I went to the yatra, I was sitting with the driver and I said, at last I made it to Vrindavan. And the driver said, no, you didn't make it to Vrindavan. Lord brought you here. That is a higher understanding. That also requires. But leave that. Initially, you need to make a try. You need to make a try, not Lord. Don't give blame on Lord. Don't give blame on Lord. It is your responsibility to come to temple, not Lord. You go with your own will to many other places. Lord doesn't send. But why for coming to temple, Lord, you need? Understand, you need to make an attempt. Don't give philosophy, that higher philosophy. Lord needs to bring. When Lord brings it, I will come. So, this kind of things, we need to take it out. Mind. We need to control. Govinde, Guru Chitta Vritti Machalam, Anyastu Kim Vartanai. What is, I don't want to have any other blessings from you. Make my mind steady, make my intelligence sharp, make my consciousness pure. This is what Kula Shekara Alvar is praying to Krishna. Yeah, I'm not making a political pitch here. My party is only one, and you all belong to is Vasudeva Kutumbam. Yeah, whether you are part of BJP or whether you are part of Congress or whether you are part of Janata Party or whoever it may be, I am not bothered. And I am not giving a talk because I got a mic here. Please understand, there is a need for all of you to understand the science of Gita. Science of Gita. Without that, our human life will not start. Yeah? So you have understood what you need to pray. So when you understand this complexity of our body, we understand this is not the creator. I am not at all the creator of this. Creator is someone else. I can only send is subtlest form of energy from mine. But the creation happens without even my knowledge. You understand? Yeah? So when we understand such a miracle of the body, we become humble. Understand that this is not in my circle of control to manage this. This is someone who is the most intelligence. Ishwaraha Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karanaka. Only Lord can do this kind of miracle. When I have this, my whole focus should be to surrender unto Him. Anyastu kim vartanai. I do not want to have any other transaction than asking bhakti devotion from Krishna. Okay? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. At last of what? Sound. Yeah? Did you know how the sound comes? Now you know. Now you need to speak about this in next class. 5 minutes you will get. You need to summarize what you heard. She is doing PhD in sound. Here, speech and hearing. I will give you the best of the best devotee who is the doctorate in speech and hearing. Today is a brahmachari in Chowpatty from last 30 years. He studied in Ash, Mysore. His name was Rajnikant. Parents gave him, and his initiated name is Radha Gopinath Prabhu. Just Google Radha Gopinath Prabhu in Google. You will find him. Yeah. When he comes to Mysore, I will introduce. She is doing PhD in Ash.